ask me how I know. Sell your truck while it's still running.
Hey guys, Scotty Levitt with Integrity Mortgage.
Jody Kennedy with Century 21 Judge Fight.
Hey, thanks again for checking out our videos. Make sure you like, subscribe
Hit the bell notification
down there
to be notified when we post videos.
Yeah. And so our last video, we were talking about just supply, demand, everything that's going on in the current market with the real estate as it pertains to COVID and what that's done to the business. Today, we want to talk about a comparison to what people think of as 2008 when we had the recession and the housing bubble that occurred versus 2020. Because people do get concerned about it because that's all they have to reference in their mind. And so what we want to talk about is why we don't personally feel like that's going to be the same outcome. In 2008, now I got into the mortgage business back in 2008, 2009. That's when I got out of college. So I was not part of it, but I got to see the results of it because I was in the workout department at Bank of America trying to keep people in their houses. And so at that time, there were really some sketchy lending practices that were being allowed where they were putting people that shouldn't be qualified into homes. So as a result, that increased the number of people that were qualifying for homes that they shouldn't. And so as a result, builders were building more homes and houses were selling for a lot more than what they were really worth because there was just so many people flooding the market that anything could be purchased by any individual as long as you could walk in and say that you worked for a company and you made enough money.
Yeah, so I actually purchased my first house in 2006.
Okay, so you...
And I graduated college in December. I started working at a Parkland Hospital in January.
Mm-hmm.
I got my first paycheck and I went and bought a house.
Awesome. Yeah.
And
it all worked out.
Well, then the market crashed and I couldn't sell it, so I still have it as a rental.
Right.
But yes, it did work out. And it's crazy to think that people our age have lived through a recession that they did back in the 40s.
Yep.
Now a pandemic, I don't know if they ever have. It's just kind of crazy.
It's been kind of I know when I got out of school and I got into the working world, I was going, this isn't what I thought it was going to be like getting out of college. I thought that it was going to be you walked into any company because that's what it was leading up to 2008. So, I'm grateful that I've seen it because it helps me talk to my clients and educate them on what I think their qualifications should be. At the end of the day, it's the client's decision, but I can at least tell them things that I've seen and give them some actual real life scenarios that have played out for individuals. Mm-hmm. So from 2008, when you saw all those people that were qualifying that maybe shouldn't qualify, and as a result, the inventory levels were being built up because builders were just trying to grow as quickly as they could to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Homes that were built from 2006 to 2008, I would be skeptical on the quality. Not every home, but just keep those dates in mind when you're buying a house because they were building so quickly. And, I'm sure permits weren't being pulled on everything.
Yeah.
It was just trying to get houses done, so...
Yeah, that's a good point, especially in North Texas. The soil is terrible around here, so, if they're pouring foundations really quickly, trying to save as much money as they can or not pouring them deep enough, those things, now we're seeing the ramifications of 2006, 2008 because of that. Now the difference is right now versus 2008, the individuals that are qualifying, the standards were set much higher after 2008 because we didn't want that to occur again. So underwriting practices increased, and so as a result, we're not going to see as many individuals that are in financial positions where they can't still be able to continue to make their mortgage payments, stay in their house, because that was the problem. And then because values were so inflated as a result of anybody could qualify, then when the market crashed, the houses were way overvalued compared to what they really were worth. So
yeah, so I bought my house for $156,000, and then after the crash, and I had lived in there 6 years.
Yep.
I was able to sell it for $135,000, so I still would have owed the bank like $14,000 after being in that home for 6 years.
Wow. And usually after 6 years, you're going to be able to sell your house with some good equity in it.
Yeah, it's like the 5-year rule, right? Mm-hmm. Like stay in a house for 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's just, we're not seeing that. And again, this all circles back to more people are moving to Texas. We're lucky that we're in Texas compared to other states. But inventory levels were already low prior to COVID happening. And then as a result of COVID, inventory levels are still low. And so that is benefiting us from not potentially seeing a bubble again in the real estate market compared to 2008, 2009. So, and then what were they saying as far as expectations that we were reading, as far as how long we think this is going to continue on?
I have not seen the price of homes drop at all.
Yeah.
At all. And we're coming to the end of 2020, thank God, but I don't think 2021 is going to be much better. So that's me being optimistic.
I like it.
But if you know me, that's my personality. So the Zillow economist Skylar Olson predicted homes to drop 2 to 3% through the end of 2020, which has not occurred. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Skylar, but we haven't seen that yet. Thank you.
Yeah. And
then some other sites predicted the prices to continue to rise, like 20, just higher and higher and higher. And then I got to start over with that sentence, okay? So.
Oh, no, I just think we keep going. I think that makes it much better.
So, secondly, I'm going to read a quote from Ed Pinto, who's the director of the American Enterprise Institute Housing Center. He said, "These increases are unsustainable, but prices will keep rising in double digits for about 6 months to a year." And he said this in October of 2020. So Scotty and I were discussing this, and that would put us home prices to continue to rise until mid to late 2021.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I know I keep going back to it, but with the continual businesses moving to Texas and everything, those things are still happening. They've already started signing agreements to move here. So that's why also I agree with that statement, is because all those plans that they put in place prior to COVID, they're still following through on them. So I do expect to see some of this demand start slowing down as a result, and then the market will start to stabilize, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing,
No.
But again, rates are so low right now, and I do expect over this next year that we're going to see rates start going back up. And again, they're still going to be, from a historical standpoint, low, but it's not going to be at the same level that we're seeing today. Now, I might be totally wrong, so don't take my word for it, but that's just my current.
I'm going to hold you to
I know you're going to be pulling this video.
I'm going to be wanting to refinance again next year, and then you're going to be like, well, you can't.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like,
but you said. So, that's where I see things going, and I think that you and I both kind of agree with what we're seeing out there in the market. So, again, this is just to keep you guys informed on what we're seeing and why, a 2008 versus a 2020 or 2020 isn't the exact same thing. And, we hope that things start to stabilize, this thing settles down, and we get back to whatever the new normal is. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll just keep plugging along.
Yeah. But we appreciate y'all checking into our videos. We're also going to be doing a video talking about who we are personally. I think that'll be good. So make sure you're checking for our videos when they're coming out, and what's the best way for them to keep up to date with it.
So like this video and subscribe to our page, and then you'll be notified when we have new videos. And we are posting once a week, usually on Saturdays. So
perfect. Awesome.
And I wanted to give a shout out. My hair looks really nice tonight, right?
Yep.
So today's actually my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Well, happy birthday.
I'm 38, so I got my hair done today, and my hairdresser is Emily Andreessen in Rockwall, and she is at Lush Hair Salon. So I told her I would give her a shout out on the video. So Emily is amazing. Check her out.
Awesome. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Awesome.
See y'all later.
Thanks.